You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk. Greetings, my visionary dreamers. How is everybody doing on You Can Do It Wednesdays? Yeah, I hope that everything is sounding good on your end, because I have been fooling around with the recording part since the interview. I realized on the last recording it kind of sounds a little different, and I was trying to readjust everything back the way it was before the interview on Sunday. So I have been testing all the way up to the moment of pushing the live button. So I'm praying that I got it. So I will know when I listen back. If not, I will just have to toy with it again. So to those who are just tuning in for the first time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from the world, saving you from yourself, from drowning in some real boo-ish. I just want everybody to do the damn thing. That's it. And that is today's title. I was thinking about, and this is Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know, us normal folks out here, although we're still shining stars, each and every last one of us. So, without further ado, I want to get to today's topic, and I will explain to you why I came up with this topic. I just want y'all to forget the critics and do the damn thing. Now, as I was about to say before, this is time for holidays, the end of the year, and everything is supposed to be, yay, happy times and cheers for everyone. And this is a time that we get in touch with our family. Well, sometimes we get in touch with our family and our friends, and we get together throughout the month of November, into November and December, on up to the New Year's. We just play catch up with everybody. And in doing that, we're just trying to, we want to know where everybody is and with their life since the year before. And as I was thinking about what am I going to talk about today, because of the fact it is the holidays, do I want to talk about Thanksgiving? Do I want to talk about fluffy fluff and all of that type of stuff? And I had a conversation with, and I'm sorry, y'all, if my stomach is going through it, because I was fooling around with this doggone recording and making sure everything is hooked up right all the way up to the last minute. My food is just sitting in my face. I want to eat it so bad, but it's just going to have to be cold. I'm going to have a cold dinner, all for y'all. So even though half of it is cold. But anyway, I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and we all know when we have friends, I believe that we all should have friends that's going to be honest with us. We got some friends that's honest, some friends that's brutally honest, and some friends that's just don't know what to say out their mouths, but you love them anyway. So this one particular friend, I love her to life, and this is my brutally honest friend. But may I add to the brutally honest, she's a little special. She is a person that her ears are extra sensitive. So she's one of those people that I could be driving in a car and I'm talking to her on my earphones, and she's like, "What's that noise in the background?" Okay, it's a car going past. Like she is to the next level extra sensitive with her ears. She's got hyper something. I don't know what she called it, but anyway. And my mic is extra sensitive too that I use. When I purchased this mic, I looked for was supposed to be the best. And when you podcasting, especially on a run too as well. I have other mics, but I like this mic because it's mobile and it's just easy for me to connect. Anyway, so I'm gonna start it off by just telling you this little story about her. So, I did my interview the other day, and as I played it back, I was thinking I have this thing of when I'm listening to you and I'm so deep into hearing what you're saying, I'm always saying, yeah, and I just express myself in that way, and that is my way of letting you know that I'm really listening to what you're saying. I'm there with you. Now, in my experience, the reason why I do that, and I'm not the only one that does that. My family has a habit of saying when we are talking to other people. And I've noticed that it's not just me and my cousins, it's my mom, my aunts. It's kind of all of us has picked up this habit. And where did we get it from? My grandmother. My grandmother used to we stayed in a room right behind her. The wall was like right there with her and my grandpop's, room. And so she used to stay on the telephone. My grandma was a telephone queen, okay? And that was way before the cell phones were out, regular landline phone. But her conversation, that was her whole conversation. She'd be talking to somebody, all you hear her say is, and she really, if it's really deep, she's like, like that's just how she expressed herself. So it just became her brand, I guess. She branded all of us with saying, And it's like a unconscious thing. We don't realize that we're saying this. And it's times that I've had, I was in a relationship and I was talking and the guy was like telling me a story or something like that, and they would be like, "No, I'm really serious. I'm telling you the truth." And I'm like, "Okay, like, all right." And I'm like, "Why you say it like that?" They're like, "Cause you keep on saying like you don't believe me." And I'm like, "Well, are you telling the truth? Because why wouldn't I believe you?" You know what I mean? So it's different ways that I say but I say all that to say, she was complaining about how many times I said throughout the video. I mean, throughout the interview. But nevertheless, I had my girlfriend, my mom, and a couple of other friends that were like, "Oh my gosh, I really love that interview. I got a lot out of that interview. And, it was really, really good." And a couple of people said they listened to it twice. And they never once said anything about me saying, So I explained to her that sometimes some people focus is different than others. And I feel my stomach just a growling, and I'm praying it's not coming through on the mic so she won't complain about that. She know I'm talking about her today. I told her I was going to do this show today. So, that's what you call all love. I don't think none of my friends get mad when I tell the stories, because they know I'm saying stuff out of love. And it's just funny to me. Anyway, this is why I came up with this title, forget about the critics. Just do the damn thing, because I'm going to continue to do the damn thing regardless. And she noticed I love her nevertheless. And in the beginning, I think my first 3 podcasts, she was like, "You say a lot. You say too many times." I'm like, "Okay, I'm just starting a podcast. I'm just trying to feel my way around. I don't know what I'm doing and what I'm saying while I'm talking. Nevertheless, I'm doing the damn thing." you know? So, you know, I guess I wanted to talk about this because, and the reason why I decided to go with this topic is because to all the people out there that's, pursuing their dreams, their visions, their goals, and they're excited about it, this is what you have to face. And even though I talk about this throughout all of my podcasts, because this is for visionary dreamers. And when I say visionary dreamers, dreamers of any aspect. It's not just people that's creative or inventive. It's people that's just, they want to reach a certain goal. They want to buy a house. They want to, they want to travel to another country. Whatever your goal is, you will decide that you're going to want to share it at some point with your family, your friends, and sometimes you're not going to get the reaction that you want. And you have to decide, okay, when different people come with their different opinions, whether it be, whether they're coming from the heart, whether they're just a critic, they're just a known critic, whether they just hating, whatever, you have to make up in your mind that you're going to stick to what it is that you have in your heart to do, no matter what. You're going to see it through. Because at the end of the day, that's something that God put on your heart to do. So you have to, for me, as I listen back to some of my other podcast shows, and I try to listen back as much as possible. Well, I always listen back, right after the show. I'll try to listen the next day with the clean ear or whatever like that. But I've noticed that, depending on my location, I sound different. Like right now, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to go to the conference room. I just want to, record from my room. So, of course, the room is a little bit more secluded. So the sound is going to be different. It's probably going to be more so right in your ear. It's not going to sound distant. I'm not as loud. I noticed that when I listen to the podcast, when I'm recording from the car, I'm just, for some reason, I'm extra hype and I'm extra loud because I'm in the car. So the car is only but so big. So it's like capturing the sound in a more condensed way. So it's like, bam, I'm right in your ear. So this is what happens. And as I'm going along, I'm making my adjustments as I listen back. And I know some of the podcasts I need to just, I'm going to have to download at some point and just kind of level out the sound. But that all is work. It's work. And people don't understand that. They think, oh, she's just on there talking. I can have a podcast and I could do that. And, people see things and they think to themselves, oh, that's easy. After a while, yeah, it can become, it's smoother and smoother each time, but you have to learn how to adjust things. You have to learn how to work with the different mics. You have to learn how to, connect things in the right way. It's all work. It's all a learning curve. And so in learning that, you can't get discouraged. And I'm just using the podcast as an example because that's what I'm dealing with. You cannot get discouraged when people give you your feedback. You just take the feedback and then you make your adjustments as you go along, as you can. You don't worry about if this is an adjustment that, like, say, for instance, like I have probably now I have 3 to 4 different mics, different types of mics, and I haven't even used them all yet. But I brought them all because I'm like, I want to test them all out at some point, just to make sure I have the tools that I need. But if you're a person that, say, you're deciding that you want to record a song, you want to be a singer, you're a rapper, whatever, or you just decide that, okay, I want to do a podcast show, but you don't have the money to buy a mic, but you have headphones that has a mic on it. Okay, I also have headphones that have a mic on it. It's always going to sound a little different, and if it's not too sounding like you want it at the time, don't get discouraged. You just work at it until you can get the right tools. Don't worry about if somebody says, oh, your mic sounds or this and that. Don't worry about that. You just do what you can do until you can get, till you step your game up. If you're a photographer and you only have your cell phone, there are different lenses out there you can connect to your cell phone. There are apps out there that you can search, Google the best apps for your cell phone for taking pictures or for doing video, and you don't have the money to get a video camera. Use your cell phone. You want to record, you can actually use your cell phone. There are actually apps that you can use to pull down and record songs. There is so much stuff out here for us to do the damn thing and to start. But the one thing you can't lose sight of is your dream, your vision, your goal. You can't allow other people's opinions to get in the way and to discourage you. Now, understand this. I'm cool with what my girlfriend said, and I love her, and I always welcome, feedback from her, from anybody else, because you definitely want people that's honest in your corner. You don't want people that's going to just tell you what you want to hear, because then you'll never know for yourself. But then sometimes you do have to determine, like, okay, is this something that I really need to adjust, or is this something that just maybe this person is dealing with? You do gotta kind of take a survey and kind of see. I mean, for me, my thing is everything is not going to always be perfect. And yes, I can make adjustments on the way. But as long as the people get the message out of the podcast show, that is the most important thing. Getting the message instead of sitting there and nitpicking everything, through. And I was about to clap this bug one through, but she was like, "You was clapping on one podcast." I'm like, oh, "Okay, I was in the moment." so yeah, it's funny, I love her, and she probably laughing right now. Because, like I said, I told her I was going to make a podcast show about it. But I say all of this to say, it's holiday time. You have to decide if you're ready to share what it is, your vision, your dream. If I advise you, if you're just getting started and you're at the drawing board of your dream and your vision, I advise you to pretty much stay quiet. Stay I'm sorry. Stay quiet. Keep it a secret for just a little bit until you really, really know where you're going with your vision, your dream, or your goal, whatever it may be. Just keep it to yourself for a good while until you work it out with yourself, so you can know, okay, this is the direction that I'm going. And then you can kind of, remember how your loved ones talk about other people when they have goals. And are they judgmental people? Are they critical people? Are they just haters? Are they, what I'm saying, do they even go after goals and visions of their own? And a lot of times, if the person is not a person that will go after a dream, a goal, or a vision of their own, then you might not want to share with that person, because they might not understand what it takes to go after a dream or vision or goal. If they're just a person that's just, they're just happy with just living everyday life in the same way all the time, they might not get that whole out of the box thinking. And that might not be the person that you might want to share your goals and your visions and your dreams, because they might come off in a way that can be very discouraging, because they don't know how that looks. They don't know how it looks or how it feels to be excited and be on fire about a dream, a goal, or a vision, and to even get that on their spirit and go after it. They don't know how it feels. They don't know how it looks. So how can they give you any input and it be sound input? A lot of times we can go around family and friends, and because we're on fire about our goals and our dreams, we just want to share it just because we want them to know that we got something new going on than we did the year prior. Or if we have family and friends that's always judgmental of us, we feel like we got something to prove, so we want to tell them about our dream or our vision or what we're doing. No, I say the way I started this whole situation, nobody knew what I was doing. And I've realized that sometimes God will hide you until he's ready to let you shine. I'm definitely going to do a show about that. Sometimes God will hide you until he's ready to let you shine. And so sometimes you got to hide yourself. Sometimes you just got to harbor, your dreams and your visions to yourself and protect it, not just because of the critics and being discouraged from people that just don't get you, or just don't get where you going with your dream or your vision, because that is your dream or vision, and a lot of people are not going to get where you coming from. They're not going to understand it. And so but because you just, sometimes you can have those people that want to steal your ideas. Like I said, I've had it done to me plenty of times. People just, that I thought was my loved ones or my friends, just straight, I was so excited and I tell them about what I want to do. And next thing you know, bam, they do it before I even finish. I'm telling them as I'm going along, and then they go out there and try to jack my dream, my vision, and my goal. You know what I mean? Nevertheless, I'm here to say that if you come across people that do that, it never will work out the way you envision it. Never. I don't care how far they get. It's never going to work out the way you envision it, because it's your dream. It's your vision. And only you can make your dream and your vision come to full fruition the way it's supposed to come, because you are unique in your being. And every dream, every vision, every goal that is put on our hearts and on our spirits, the only people that can stop them from coming to life is us. We're the only ones that can get in our own way. And that's why I always say, I'm your lifeguard. I'm saving you from drowning. Get out your own way. Because we do that a lot. We second guess ourselves because of what everybody else says about our dream, goals, or visions. If everybody else say, "Oh, you need to do," no, that don't sound right, though. Then now you pull back. Now you shrink back. The excitement gets a little bit denser and denser. But everybody that knows me knows I'm a kick rock person. Like, okay, yeah, okay, that's your thought. Yeah, whatever. I'm still going to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. I do listen. I do listen to the ones that I know really got my back. Some people I just be like, whatever, kick rocks. But there are key people that I know mean it from their heart, and they mean it for my betterment. But I also know, like, I've had, a couple of my friends say, well, I'm just telling you this because I just wanted to be professional and I just wanted to be. But let me tell you, my same girlfriend that was telling me about the she has been pushing me, God bless her heart. She has been pushing me to do a YouTube channel, do something, do my podcast since I first started making websites back in 2009. Because I shared that with her, and I shared that whole vision with her about what I wanted to do. And she was like, "Would you just do it? Just do it. Just I don't understand what you're trying." And I was like, "No, I gotta have my intro. I gotta do this. I gotta have it." She's like, "You're such a perfectionist. Look at these doggone YouTube channels. These people be having sheets in the background and this and that and the other, and they rooms be messed up, and they come on and they just do it. You could do it." And so for years and years and years, she was just like, "I don't understand what is wrong with you. You got the talent, and I think you'll be good at it. Why don't you just go ahead and stop worrying about having everything in the right place and position?" But it's the same one that told me don't worry about it by yourself. "I just want you to be professional. I just wanted to be professional." I'm like, "What do you want me to do, woman? You want me to be professional, or you want me to just go with the flow?" So, nevertheless, she know I love her so much. But I say all that to say, really, what is being professional? When she said that, and another one of my friends was like, "I just want the show to be professional." What is professional when you're being yourself? Now, my mother said to me that she loved the show not because I'm her daughter, but she loved the show because she knew I was being myself. I wasn't trying to be nobody else. I wasn't trying to, she broke it down. And I was like, "You know what, Mom, I really appreciate that." I think I shared that on another show, but I really did appreciate that because that's what I decided to do. When I listened to all the other podcast shows, I was like, I haven't yet heard. It might be some shows now all of a sudden decide to do it. Just somebody just coming on, just being transparent and just sharing their stories, sharing their journey with just everyday folks, and letting everyday people just when I say everyday people, it's really all of us. Just letting that be the target and just not worrying about a real target audience, but allowing the target audience to find them. That's what I set out to do. I was like, I'm not gonna really, this is just for everybody. Anybody that feels like this podcast is drawing them to hear, that's who it's for. I'm not out here trying to get people that's, it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, it doesn't matter, trillionaire, whatever, it doesn't matter if you're so-called poor. I don't think nobody's poor, but if you label yourself as poor or whatever. But this podcast is for whoever feel like, you know what, I like what she's talking about and I can relate to that, you know? And everybody's not going to listen to every show. My hope is that you do, that you go back and you listen to the archives. But the bottom line is, if you go back to the archives and you will hear the difference in my mood, how I was feeling that day. What, if I'm hyped, my energy. So to me, that is me opening up to you and allowing you to see the authentic me. Everybody has mood swings. Everybody, one day up, one day you're down, one day you're hype, one day so you're really getting to learn and know me as a person. And I think that when a person shows you who they really are, and shares with you who they really are, then when they're saying to you, okay, I want to help you, you know that the help is genuine. So when I say to you, I'm your dream pusher, I'm your lifeguard, you know I'm genuine in what I'm saying, because I'm not coming on this podcast trying to be a, whatever popular talk show host or podcast person. I'm not following their format. I'm just letting it ride. Like today I decided I'm not writing no notes. I'm just gonna speak to you from my heart, because my thing is, when you have a dream and a vision and a goal, you have to come from your heart. You can't make adjustments because of what everybody else thinks you should do. I can remember when I was I was submitting the podcast to TuneIn platform. And as I was submitting, once they accepted me and and they gave me my account information or whatever, they approved the podcast being on there. The first, as you can explore the other podcast shows that's on there, and the first show that popped up was Oprah Winfrey. She's on the same platform. I think it was a Super Soul Sundays, I think, platform. I mean, show, podcast show that I saw, and she was interviewing India Ari. And I shared this in one of my other earlier podcast shows, but she was interviewing India Ari, just by chance. And so I was like, oh, wow, I never heard this. And I like her. Let me hear this while I'm, working. And what India Ari was saying was that she took her I think it was like 4 years off away from music, and she went and stayed on some island or something, and to get back to herself, because she had become what everybody else wanted. And she didn't feel like her music was authentic. Authentic. Oh, I can't even say the word right now. Just like this. See, I told y'all, I was in speech class, sometimes I get tongue tied. But is that professional? Is that not professional because I messed up a word? What it's just like, you have to be yourself. And that's what she was talking about. She had to get back to herself. She had to figure out, she lost herself because musically, the labels were telling her what to do and how to adjust her sound and how to tell her what the type of song to sing. far as going up for awards and the Grammy, she was nominated, and they were telling her why she didn't win, all of this stuff, and she was losing who she was and the reason why she started music. She was losing it because of everybody else's opinion and everybody else's critique of her gift. And so I say all that to say it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. Even when I was in the music business, I always stayed true to who I was. And yes, there have been times when, I was with some producers and some producers wanted me to take a sound uh, to benefit them. And some of them were just really good people that just was giving me constructive criticism to help me sharpen my skills. And I had to determine like which one, you know, should I really listen to? I had to learn that earlier on, which helped me today now in doing this show that, okay, I know, first of all, I am my worst critic. I will, I used to be in the studio like, I'm going to do that over, I'm going to do that. And they'd be like, it sound good. No, it don't sound good. No, I want to do it over. I want to do it over. And so, but with this show, because I'm trying to prove a point to all the listeners that when you go after your vision, you go after your goal, things are going to happen. You're going to have hiccups along the way. You don't beat yourself up. No, the next time I get better and better. Your shows will get greater and greater. Your music, your drawings, your photos, your inventions, your, becoming a better daughter, mother, anything. It'll get better and better if this is what you are going after wholeheartedly. You know, even in a situation like, I'll say one of my loved ones, I can remember when her and her then fiance, but now they're married, but I could remember when they were going after and they were trying to find a house, and it took them some years to find a house. And every time they thought, and they were talking about the house and they were so excited, but every time they thought they found it, they were discouraged. It didn't work out. And I just would tell her, like, listen, don't force it, because the right house, the house that's for you, is going to show through. So when things don't work out and you think that is for you, don't get discouraged. That means that God has something greater and better for you. And I say all that because now, they're in their house and they're married and they're happy. And the house that they wind up getting just happened to have neighbors that really embraced them, and they feel so loved in that community. And so who knows if the other houses would have worked out if that would have happened for them, you know? Also, it's like when people try to tell you what is not right and try to criticize your dream and your vision, or either they try to say, "Oh, I could do that. That's easy. You're not doing nothing special. That's easy," and you're working hard at it. Don't listen to them neither, because most of the time when they think that it's so easy and they go out to do it, they find out the hard way. No, it's not that easy. You make it look easy because that was your gift. That is your talent. That is what God gave you to do. So therefore, to them, it looks easy because you're pursuing what's on your spirit to do. So God gave you the strength to do it and the capacity to do it in a great way. So it'll come out to everybody else like it's nothing to do, Like, example, I can remember years ago, I used to do club promotions, and I had this one partner, and actually he brought me in. Somebody told him about me and told him that I would be the perfect person to help him out to get his event in order, because I used to do a lot of events and stuff. And plus I was in the music, and what he was doing was he wanted to do like a amateur night, like a, open mic night. So because I already did the whole music thing, record label, whatever, I pretty much knew about how to have things in order. And so we went into partnership to, do this whole venture. And, I wound up taking on a bulk of the work, far as making sure I contact the artist, setting up the format, setting just a lot of I made sure that the show went smooth every night. All he did was get up there and host the doggone event. And that's not nothing saying that that's easy, but that was his thing. He wanted to just be the front person and just talk and on a mic or whatever. He introduced the guests. But meanwhile, I'm in the background. I'm making sure all the artists are right. I got to make sure that their music is right, cue up them, all of this stuff technically, and to make the show and make sure the timing is right. Everybody has the right time and all of this stuff. And I put the right artists on the right shows. Well, once the show started making money and it started getting real crowded in the club, he decided that he gonna tell me, oh, he gonna take, it's no more 50-50, because he is the one that came up with the idea or whatever, and he can do what I can do, and it's easy and all of this stuff. I'm like, oh, really? He like, now is he, I don't know if he dropped it down 30%, whatever. I'm like, what? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I said, okay, well, check this out. You don't have to worry about it. You can keep your little money, and you handle it. You handle the whole show. Oh, well, all right, let me tell you something. This is what I'm saying about if God gave you the gift and the skill set to do a certain thing, how you can make it look so smooth to everybody else that they think that it's easy for them to do. Well, the same person, the following week when the show came on, he was on my phone calling me. And I think I told y'all, my neighborhood where I grew up at, and when I was doing my music, they call me Liv. They call me Living. So he's like, yo, Liv, listen, can you come back? I apologize. You just made it look so, this is hard. This is hard work. Oh my gosh, these artists, they just hard to deal with, and this and that, the other. And now, mind you, because it was like mixed R&B, hip hop. So sometimes it was like thugged out people, guys, and everything like that. But see, I grew up in the hood, and yeah, he did too, but I knew how to talk their language. And plus, even though I'm a female, I'm about my business. I'm firm with what I say to people. I don't care if you didn't shot somebody, whatever. I just always had a way to talk to people. And because I respect everybody, no matter what their background is, it always came off as genuine. So therefore, they gave me respect, and I set a tone. And I let them know, no, you're not going to just come up in here and bombard or whatever. And he didn't know that part. So now here he was. He wasn't no real gangster, nothing like that. He was just a happy-go-lucky guy or whatever like that. He going to come across this podcast one day. Got love for you. I got to tell the story, though. But he was just, a happy-go-lucky guy, whatever. And he just really wanted to just do the whole entertainment thing. So he wasn't used to all of these thugged out guys that's just trying to control everything. So he couldn't get the order. He couldn't get them in order, So he wound up having to call me back and ask me to come back, And if you listen to any of my other podcast shows, and I tell you, like, somebody set me up to get fired or whatever like that, and I wind up always getting called back because people see that okay, wow, she kind of had it smooth or whatever like that. I'm like this. Once you make the decision and you want to come at my neck and you want to disrespect my efforts and you want to disrespect my hard work or whatever like that, I'm like, kick rocks then. You do it. I'm good. No, I don't know. You need to see for yourself. So now you'll know how to appreciate me. You know what I mean? So nevertheless, I didn't go back. He wound up having to find somebody else, and the show still went on and everything, but he wound up apologizing, and he told me, like, listen, you made that thing look so easy, and it was running so smooth. I didn't know that it was so hard. And because I'm not a complainer. As I tell you in other podcast shows, I'm really not a complainer. I might vent, in the background or whatever, but I'm not really a complainer like that. I just do what I got to do, and that's just that. So when somebody comes at your neck talking about, and nevertheless, later on, years later, I seen him and he was like, yo, I'm sorry you're not still mad. Hey, why don't we do another venture together? No, I don't want to do no more partnerships with you. You showed me yourself, like Maya Angelou says, you showed me yourself once. I believe you now. So therefore, no, we can't do no business together. I got love for you. I wish you the best. And that's just that. You know what I mean? That's just how I am, because I feel like, you know, I'm out to do the damn thing. And if I choose to partner with anybody, I already know how much of a hard worker I am. I'm expecting the same respect, the same, hard work from the other person. I'm expecting that, when things really are good and they take off, that nothing changes. Nobody's attitude change. Nobody gets greedy, things of that nature. And I know that's kind of like going off topic a little bit, but no, it is staying on because see, when you're doing a damn thing, these are the things that can come into play. These are the things that could come into play. And so you gotta be careful, guard yourself, guard your gift, guard your talent, guard your dream. Do not worry about the naysayers. Do not worry about where people think you are. If you had this dream, this vision, and you've been working on it, you told people about it already, and it's 5 years later, and they're trying to clown you and say, oh, so what happened? I thought you was going to do this, and I thought you was going to do that. You don't worry about that. You don't worry about that. Let that be fuel to your fire, Take that as fuel and just work harder. That's it. That's all you got to do. Take what they say as fuel for your fire and go at it harder than ever before. And then be quiet. Just be quiet. You know what I mean? If it's not working out and if you've been at a certain thing for some years or whatever, and depending on what it is, it can take years for it to come to pass, Don't get discouraged. So many people out here don't just stop before they even get started. And you never know how it could come out. And if you get to the full capacity of your dream or your vision and it doesn't pan out the way you expected it to, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged because it might not be the time for it. That's all. And yes, that would be heartbreaking or whatever like that, but so many of my dreams, so many of my visions, I was before my time and it didn't pan out the way I exactly wanted it to. And I can sit up here and say today that some of the stuff that I try to utilize in the past, just like this podcast show up. A friend of mine, I was talking to, was it yesterday? I think it was. He actually gave me my mic and my mixer, which I'm not even using yet, this professional studio mic and mixer. What was it? Back in 2000 and I think 15. Yeah, about 2015, I told him I was going to do the podcast or whatever like that. And that's when I was so stuck on everybody else, helping everybody else out. So I was half-assed with it, and I just didn't keep pursuing it. I just let life get in the way and I stopped before I really got started. So here the mic and the mixer was just sitting. And now here it is, that's 05, a few years later, and I wiped everybody out of my, way. And I decided no matter what people say, no matter the critics, no matter, the judgment, I'm going to do this time. I'm going to just continue to do it. I'm going to be myself and I'm going to work at becoming the best me I can be through the podcast, through sharing with people. And I'm going to be transparent so that people can see my growth and grow with me, that we can grow together. So you can see my hiccups. You can see, oh, wow, that other podcast show, she, oh, this and that happened. Oh, but now it's smooth. This way you can see for yourself that Everything is not going to be perfect on your journey. There are going to be hiccups. There are going to be imperfections. But as long as you know that each time you go at it, it's just going to get better and better and better. And just keep telling yourself that. Okay, I could hear this in this show, or I could see how I need to do that better, or I can, I could see how this picture, I could have, okay, let me learn that filter. Let me learn how to use this better. How to do these graphics in this way, or whatever it is that you're doing. Just know it's going to get better. My websites, if you see my first websites, you'll be like, oh my gosh, what is this? As opposed to now. And I know I still got ways to go. I'm ever learning. That is what life is about. Life is about learning. It's when you stop wanting to learn, it's when you stop growing. Remember that. But other than that, we are here to learn. We are here to continue to grow, to continue to be better people, better than we was yesterday. And that's all you can do. You just go out here, you do your best, whether it's you're an athlete, whether you're, whatever you're doing. If you ran a track meet or whatever, and your time wasn't what you expected, guess what? It's okay. It's okay. You got through that one. Now you know the goal that you're hitting. You might be a minute faster the next time. Do not beat yourself up. Do not worry about what other teammates are saying, that you're not up to whatever standards that they want you to be. You just be the best you can be. And that's all. Be proud of yourself. Go to the mirror and tell yourself every time every day that you work on your dream, your goal, your vision, you should be proud of yourself, because guess what? You did it. You did the damn thing. You worked on it. You're a step further than you was yesterday on your dream and your goals and your visions. So that's something to be proud of yourself about. So, I just wanted to come from the heart today. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I really pray that everybody enjoys their family, their friends. If you're getting with your family, your friends, if you're not, definitely call your loved ones. Tell them how much you miss them. Especially our elders. Our older loved ones. Give them a call and just say, "Hey, how you doing? I miss you. I love you. How's your day?" I'm telling you, that will go a long way with them. Everybody needs love. Everybody needs a little holler here and there, and just to let them know that you're thinking about them. Enjoy your family, y'all. Enjoy your friends, because I don't care if you got one friend, one family member, and even if you don't, if you're just single and you're by yourself, if you got a cat, you got a dog, just be grateful for just where you are in life now. And things will get better and greater later. Be grateful for everything that you have now, and only good things will come your way. It'll always get greater. It will. It will. So and let me remind you, no longer will I be on Mondays. I will have blog posts. So go to chronicles-of-livin-podcast on Mondays, so you'll have a fresh blog post every Monday. Okay, I'm trying to give some love to the blog so y'all can enjoy that and get information from that. Okay, so I will continue to do Sundays at 7 p.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in, share, come back Mondays and listen to podcast shows that you missed. Let that be your catch-up day. And until Sunday, enjoy yourselves, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. We're not at Christmas yet, but happy Thanksgiving. I love you guys. I hope you enjoy the podcast show. This is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, saving you from the world, saving you from drowning in some real bull-ish. Go out there, y'all. Don't worry about those critics. Don't worry about the judgment. Don't worry about the haters. You just go and do the damn thing. I love you guys. Peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Living, where we talk to everyday people
about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chronicles-of-livin-podcast. Until next time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.